On a Sunday afternoon in Maryland, children's author Monroe Leaf sat down to write a children's book. Leaf, who was becoming a somewhat popular writer, had been brainstorming book ideas in order to give his good friend Robert Lawson an illustration job. However, Leaf couldn't come up with an idea with which he was super comfortable. On this afternoon, Leaf was afraid that he'd have the same issue. However, once he sat down, his fears were quickly relieved. Inspiration had struck. Leaf quickly started to write out a story about a Spanish bull who didn't like to bullfight. Leaf liked the bull character as he found it to be uncommon in children's literature. He thought that using a unique main character would in turn help Lawson's illustrations to stand out. Leaf quickly finished the story in 30 minutes. Then, he sent it off to Lawson and everyone else who was involved in getting the book published. Leaf felt satisfied that he was able to do a quick favor for his good friend. In fact, Leaf saw the story as nothing more than a favor, a service to a friend. He never realized that the simple story would create much controversy. The children's story would constantly be at the center of serious geopolitical conversations. The book would cause much anger to individuals with the book's message. The book would even be banned in several countries. All of this was spurred by a children's story written in less than an hour. Why? This is the story of Ferdinand. Monroe Leaf was born in Maryland in 1905. Gaining a bachelor's degree from the University of Maryland, along with a master's from Harvard, Leaf taught secondary school in Maryland. There, he witnessed how literature had a powerful effect on young minds. So, Leaf began to write children's books, hoping that he could use the medium to teach kids valuable lessons. One of Leaf's first books was Grammar Can Be Fun, a book that taught simple grammar to children in an engaging yet entertaining way. The book spawned a whole series of could be fun books, such as Manners Can Be Fun or Safety Can Be Fun. In fact, Leaf's whole bibliography is filled with these stories meant to enlighten kids. However, his most famous work, the story of Ferdinand, supposedly didn't have an educational intent in mind. The story follows the titular bull of Ferdinand. Unlike most bulls, Ferdinand is a peaceful creature. He's not constantly angry and doesn't like fighting in an arena. He just enjoys smelling the flowers and spending time in solitude. However, when Ferdinand gets stung by a bee, he has an erratic reaction. A group of men sees these actions and mistakenly thinks that he would be great for bullfighting. So, he's shipped off to Madrid to fight on the big stage. However, once Ferdinand gets in the arena, he's not agitated by the antics of the bullfighter like a bull usually would. Instead, he stays true to himself and just enjoys the sights and scenery around him. So, Ferdinand is sent back home so he can continue smelling flowers. The story may have been inspired by a real-life bull from Spain named Ferdinand, who was pardoned from a bullfight after refusing to be aggressive towards the bullfighter. This could explain why Leaf wrote the book so quickly. Regardless of the inspiration, the book was a huge success. When the book was initially published in 1936, it had good sales. However, in 1938, the book sold almost 3,000 copies a week. For that year, Ferdinand outgrossed literary classics such as Gone with the Wind. The book was also a critical success, as it got praise from both literary critics and significant public figures alike. The book was even turned into a theatrical animated short by Walt Disney and his company in 1938. However, not everyone took a liking to the book. Many people saw the bull's tendency to not fight as propaganda for pacifism. They saw the book as pushing negative political agendas on children. While Leaf denied that the book had any political meanings, many didn't care. Critics claimed the book was everything from fascist to communist. Many refused to have it read to children due to its supposed attempt of indoctrination. Others took it a step further. In Spain, the book was banned. The story of Ferdinand had significant relation to Spain, due to it featuring bullfighting and being parallel to the true story of Ferdinand. However, Spain had broken out into a civil war, with opponents of different political views duking it out with each other. Ferdinand's seemingly pacifist message was doomed to go against the zealous fighting of the two sides. So, certain leaders like Franco had it banned. Hitler also had the story of Ferdinand banned and burned, labeling it as degenerate democratic propaganda. These actions weren't able to stop Ferdinand's popularity, as it stayed popular for years ahead. Ferdinand was often used as a mascot in various marketing campaigns. After World War II, copies of Ferdinand were handed out to the children of Germany to help lessen the effect of Nazi propaganda on their minds. The story of Ferdinand still appears in popular culture today, whether it be with movies, TV shows, or music. In fact, the story even got a feature film animated adaptation in 2017, produced by 20th Century Fox and Blue Sky Studios. Today, the book still retains its popularity. Children and adults both have gravitated to Ferdinand's calm and unbothered personality. Because of this, the story of Ferdinand has never gone out of print since its initial publishing in 1936. The meaning behind Ferdinand caused a lot of debate at the time of its publishing, as it still does today. While many try to interpret deep political meanings from the book, others believe the story is simply telling children to always be themselves. Leaf, on the other hand, always denied that the book had any hidden meaning at all. He simply described it as a quick project to give his illustrator friend a job. However, as an author who always was trying to teach a lesson with his literature, it's curious that this one book randomly lacks a deeper meaning. It's even more interesting that the book was based on a real bull who represented pacifism for many Spaniards during their Civil War. In addition, the book was published right as the Civil War was starting. Maybe Leaf did have an ulterior motive, or maybe he did not. But either way, Leaf's story, as simple as it may seem, has held a lot of power for many individuals across the years. One simple story has changed the lives of thousands. Simple things can make all the difference, even when it's intentional or not.